Show for today. We're talking to Dr. Charles Smith, the former Chancellor of the Tennessee Board of Regents, as well as a candidate for the governorship of the state of Tennessee. And of course, Dr. Smith, what we'd like to do today is to devote this second segment primarily to your gubernatorial campaign. That is to give our audience some idea of some of the things that you are in favor of and some of the things that you're not in favor of during this, the next 8 minutes, so that they'll have some idea of your gubernatorial platform.
Well, Dr. Haney, I announced in late August that I would run for governor. I've waited until now because I felt it was important that we give the Tennessee General Assembly an opportunity to try to address the issue, that it didn't make a lot of sense to try to mix politics with all the serious business that was taking place on the Capitol. And so I waited till the legislature adjourned and made the decision to get in this race. And I'm in this race because I honestly believe that it's important that somebody stand up for the people of Tennessee and be a people candidate and someone who will address the issues in a very straightforward manner. Because if we go through this election with only candidates who are saying we don't have a problem in Tennessee, that we can manage our way out of this problem, I think we'll lose a great opportunity to debate the real issue. And the real issue is, where do we want this state to go? And so my campaign is going to be designed to be basically a series of town hall meetings across the state. One of the things that I honestly believe, and many people have told me, is that the people of Tennessee are tired of politicians who act like they've got all the answers. I think we need to do a whole lot more listening and a lot less talking. And so my campaigns will be designed to do that. And I'm going to do it basically the way I built Ed McWhirter's education program. I went out to every one of the 139 school districts in Tennessee. It took me 15 months to do that. And I spent a full day in every one of those districts, starting early in the morning, going late at night, meeting with classroom teachers, with principals, with superintendents and school boards, and with parent-teacher associations, with every group I could possibly meet with. And I kept asking, what do you really need here at the grassroots level? Because I think, again, people are tired of people sitting in Nashville acting like they have all the answers. I found in that process that there's great wisdom with the people of Tennessee. If you go out and talk about the issues, if you give them an opportunity to have input into those issues, the result is going to be pretty good. And so we did that over 15 months, but we went beyond that. Once we got back, we wrote a plan, and that initial plan had 6 goals and 55 initiatives, and we sent it out for review of all those people who gave us their names, and they critiqued it, sent us back their responses. We went through that process 7 times, ended up with 12 goals and 88 initiatives, and that plan was then translated into the legislation that became Governor McWhirter's Education Improvement Program that attracted national attention. People ask us, how in the world did you pass such a comprehensive bill? And my answer to that is, we involve the people. And that's exactly the way I'm going to run this campaign. And shortly before the election, I'm going to stand up across this state, and I'm going to tell people what I've heard and what I believe we need to do, and lay out the plan in very specific detail. And I believe that's a winning process, because what I'm going to be doing is presenting what represents what I believe to be the consensus of the people of Tennessee about where we want to go. And the focus is going to be very clear. I think one thing that the Democratic Party has gotten away from in recent years is that we've let the other party define who we are and what we are. They've set the agenda, and they have defined us. And I think what we've got to do is get back to our roots. What the Democratic Party means to me is we were founded to help the working men and women of this state and nation. And to me, that means that you talk about jobs, you talk about roads, you talk about education, and you talk about health care. And those are the 4 areas I'm going to stay focused on. And I don't care who tries to get me off that agenda. That's what I'm going to be talking about, because I believe that's what the people are interested in. And we got to be sure that those are quality jobs, jobs that pay a decent wage and provide a safe working environment. I already talked about the education part that I think is so important. And when you talk about the economic development of this state, I think one thing we're missing today is a plan that would ensure that not just one part of the state, but all parts of the state benefit from our initiatives. We seem to take great comfort in the fact that overall the capital investment in our state is good. What that doesn't take into account is that we're seeing a growing divide between the haves and the have-nots, both within communities and across community lines. I want to do in economic development a plan that would very specifically set forth goals, and because I believe what gets measured gets done, and what I want to do is make sure that we don't just look at the global number, but let's see what's happening in Nashville, not Nashville as a whole, but inner city Nashville, suburban Nashville, up in Hancock County in northeast Tennessee. Are we doing what we need to be doing there? We need to measure that. We need to display that. I'm going to have a report card on the state of Tennessee. Just like I was the first commissioner to put a report card in place, I was the first chancellor in the nation to do that, and I'm going to be the first governor to issue a report card, because after all, we're a big business. The taxpayers are our stockholders, and we need to do a better job of reporting to the people what we're going to do. And so accountability is going to be at the core of my campaign.
And so this campaign has already started as far as you're concerned now, Dr.
Well, it has. It seems like that, you know, that we're at a pace now that you normally expect to be in June or July of next year. We have been out practically every day. I think we've taken one day off in the last month. And we've traveled this state many times, and we're going to be going on from the program today and doing some campaigning later today, and it'll be that way from now on. We're intending to make this a full court press. It's a marathon race, and we're in it to stay. We're in it to win.
And of course, a minute before the next commercial break, how do you find the response to this campaign?
Well, I feel very positive about what we're hearing. In fact, we're hearing both from just comments of people as well as some polls that are being taken that we've surged in the last 2 weeks. And for example, there's a tracking poll that has been done by the Democratic Party with the Democratic Party leadership across the state, and it shows that I have cut the gap in half with Phil Bredesen in the last 2 weeks among that group of people, and we see that as a very encouraging sign. But I think what you have to do is work hard. You have to get out and meet people. You can't stay in Nashville and just do commercials. I think you got to go out where the real people are.
And of course, let me have our second commercial break here, Dr. Smith, and we'll be back with our audience following this short commercial break.